Social Inclusion Week is a great vehicle for that, but I guess I'd like to see Social Inclusion Year, you know, or decade, you know, which would be meaning that it would be front and centre in people's minds all the time, you know, 24/7, and that we would perhaps change our mindset. And you know, it's one of the ways that we can have mental health and well-being if we address these issues, because mental illness is one thing, that's the failure of all of these things really, but positive mental health and a sense of purpose and fulfilment in life, flourishing as Martin Seligman calls it, I think that's what we're all aiming for, and that's very dependent on social inclusion, which should be with us all the time. I'm glad you asked me that, because my wife works in nursing homes, as you know, and she's seen it, I've seen it with her too. Just older people generally, if they start to become physically unwell or develop, you know, maybe cognitive problems, dementia, or just, you know, become more socially isolated and maybe depressed as well. I mean, older people are really in a bad situation then, and I think the way we're treating older people is not good. As you say, I've emphasised the failures in looking after our young people, but there are tremendous failures also in looking after older people. You know, traditional societies again don't treat old people in this way. They have a lot more respect, and they provide a lot more support and inclusion for older people. We warehouse them in nursing homes. I think that's a shocking thing, actually, you know, and we ought to find much better ways of keeping them with us in the community and respecting them and supporting them and drawing on their wisdom as well. Well, people, if they look around them, they see social exclusion everywhere. If we're talking about in schools, the kids that are being picked on or bullied, they're being socially excluded, aren't they? They're part of the out group, you know, and that causes them tremendous stress and is one of the driving factors in bringing on mental ill health in young people. In older people, I guess, you know, middle-aged or older people who are suffering from poor mental health, their relationships tend to break down, they become isolated, they become lonely, they may not be able to work, certainly not as effectively, and they just drop out of, you know, activities that require energy and connection. So if people just look around themselves, I think they're going to see examples of it everywhere, and obviously it's great if they can try and reach out in a sensitive way to those people who are lonely, excluded and struggling.